Hello Pre-Algebra students, this is Mr. Giomini, and hello to any Math 6 students who may be watching for a little additional challenge. Kind of want to take a look at two problems that involve both writing and solving inequalities. And also I want to take a look at something from today with simplifying expressions by combining like terms, by also using the distributive property. So, taking a look at this first problem, I have an auto shop estimates parts and labor for repair will cost less than $200. Parts will cost $58.49. Find the maximum cost C of the labor. Okay, so an auto shop estimates parts and labor. So I see I'm going to call the P parts and labor, so that's plus the labor for repair will cost less than $200. So it's going to cost less than $200. So if I take a look at this, okay, I need to write an inequality. Well, I know whatever it costs, and it says find the maximum cost C of the labor. So I know that whatever it costs, it's going to be less than $200. Okay, so I'll write this. So $200 would be greater than the sum of the costs over here. So the cost this side has to be less than 200. Now, I see here I have parts and labor. So we have parts and labor. We have P, and they want us to use C for labor. So P plus C, the parts plus the cost of the labor, is going to be less than 200. If I go back in, it says here parts will cost $58.49. So now I know what parts are. They are $58.49. I do not know the cost of labor, so I'm going to put a plus sign and the labor, but I know combined they're less than 200. So I want to solve this inequality for C. So I want to find out what C is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract $58.49 because I want to isolate that variable by itself on this side of the inequality. So that would cancel out. I'm going to subtract, and I will make sure I line up my place values. $58, I will add 2 zeros here to make it look $200 like this, so I can line up my change. Here we are. So I subtract, so it's the cost of labor is going to have to be less than, let's see here, that's 10, this becomes a 9, this becomes a 9, this becomes a 9, because all these zeros, and this becomes a 1. 10 minus 9 is 1, 9 minus 4 is 5, decimal point, 9 minus 8 is 1, 9 minus 5 is 4, and 1 minus 0 is, I believe, 1. So the cost of the labor must be less than $141.51. So the reason being, if I substitute this back in, if I combine these two, it's going to be $200 exactly. Remember, it can't be less than or equal to 200. So if I were to graph this, which it does not ask, but it's okay if I do a little extra, if I were to graph this, I would have to draw my line, and let me get a line here. Here's my number line, arrow on both ends because it goes on infinitely. So there it is. I would now put 141.51, and it says it has to be less than, so it's an open circle because $141.51 is not included in the solution set, and it's less than, so it's going to the left. Okay, so hope that helps with that one. Let's take a look at another problem. To avoid a service charge, Joe must keep more than $500 in his account. Okay, so that means at the very minimum Joe must have $500. And we know he has to keep more than that, so this side has to be greater than 500. His current balance is $536.24, but he plans to write a check for $157.35. Sorry. Find out how much he must deposit, and I had a good word today. Deposit means to put money back into the bank. It's always great to be depositing more than you're withdrawing to avoid a service charge. So, thinking about my other side of the inequality here. I know currently he has $536. I know pretty soon here he's going to write a check for $157.35. So that is going to be taking away money from his account, from his current balance. Let's see if I have enough room here. Now, what he's going to have to do, I'm going to put that in parentheses, he's going to, once he makes this check, he's going to have to then run to the bank and deposit some money so he can cover it, so he doesn't get a penalty for having below $500. So he's going to have to add D for his deposit. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract these two. Let me grab my calculator here. I have $536.24 minus 157.35. That equals, let me double check, 536.24 minus 157. Okay, that gives me $378.89 that he'll have left in his account. Plus the D must be greater than $500, or he gets a service charge. So let's find out how much, what's the guy's name? Jose must now put into his account with that deposit. So I want to isolate this variable. I'm going to subtract 378.89 from both sides. 378.89. I could put a decimal point, add 2 zeros. That's going to cross all these out. These zeros, this becomes a 4. These cancel out. I'm left with D is must be greater than, let's see, that becomes a 10. That becomes a 9, a 9, a 9. So I have 10 minus 9 is 1, 9 minus 8 is 1, decimal point 9 minus 8 is 1, 9 minus 7 is 2, 4 minus 3 is 1. So Jose must deposit greater than $121.11. So his deposit must be greater than this so that he has more than $500. Now I'm going to erase this stuff. I'm going to keep that D is greater than $121.11. Remember now, I have to, if I were to graph this, which it's okay to do extra work, boys and girls. No, it's always okay to go above and beyond. That's how you separate yourself from a lot of other people who don't want to do that extra step. Okay, so here is my number line. Here is my D, must be greater than $121.11. It must be greater than, so that means $121.11 is not included in that solution set, so it is an open circle, and it has to be greater than that, so my inequality is being graphed to the right. Alright, last thing here. I love these. I love the distributive property. I don't know why, I guess I'm a nerd. Okay, this says 5 times x plus 4 minus 7. I am looking for something common. I cannot combine anything inside these parentheses. I can't say x plus 4 is 4x. So I must use the distributive property and multiply that 5 by everything inside the parentheses. So 5 times x is 5x. Plus 5 times 4 is 20. That's where kids will make their mistakes. They'll forget to multiply that 5 times a 4. Minus 7. Okay, can I simplify this at all? I absolutely can. 5x's cannot be combined with anything else, so it stays 5x. 20 minus 7 gives me 13, and it is a positive 13. I do not like this color. I will switch. Let's try this color. And that's the simplified form. I cannot simplify that anymore, so I am done. Next one, 9 times 6 plus y plus 3y. I cannot combine anything inside the parentheses. I cannot combine anything inside these parentheses with this y because there's parentheses around it. And this says 9 times. I always multiply before I add anything. So I'm going to multiply this 9 times everything inside the parentheses. 9 times 6 is 54, I believe. Plus 9 times y is 9y. Plus, and I'm done multiplying, so that's everything inside there. Plus that thing that was left outside, the 3y. I have 9y's here plus 3y's here. I can combine all the y's because they are like terms. So I will have 54 plus 9y's plus 3y's gives me 12y's. That is my final answer. And finally, the last one. Let's see if I could fit this in here. 6 times 7 plus 2a, close parentheses, minus 8a. I cannot combine this 2a with this 8a because they are inside parentheses. I must multiply first according to PEMDAS, so I multiply 6 times 7 and 6 times 2a. 6 times 7, 42, plus 6 times 2a gives me now 12a's minus 8a. Okay, 42 is all by itself, so there's nothing there's no other whole numbers to combine it with. We have that 12a minus 8a. I can combine these like terms. I have 12a's. I take 8 away. I now have 4a's left. And it is 42 plus 4a. And that is simplified as far as I can go. And I'm done. Hope this helps. Take care.